Hello YouTube, this is DieHard1000 and welcome to another video. We're playing The Town of Light, a psychological horror game.
Let's look for Charlotte. We have abandoned her. Will she still be where we abandoned her, under the warm lights?
Hopefully. I have no control here, by the way.
I didn't do anything. I just obeyed orders.
I only obeyed orders.
Charlotte just got away. Mom will come and get us. She loves us,
I only
even though
obeyed
we're
orders.
bad.
Mom won't leave us alone. I didn't do anything. I only obeyed orders. Mom will come and get us now. I didn't do anything. I only obeyed orders.
Even though we're bad.
Mom won't leave us alone. I didn't do anything.
Charlotte gone away.
I only obeyed orders.
Mom will come and get us now. She loves us, even though we're bad.
I didn't do anything. I only obeyed orders.
Okay, that woman over there is naked. Surgery? I'm unsure what's happening here. I mean, the shock therapy. Okay. They gave her a bite bath. The electrode that put on the side of your head. Okay. That's horrible. I'm gonna say that's fairly horrible.
September 7th, 1938. The patient frequently indulges in recriminations expressed in an explosive tone of voice. This morning she threw away the milk, saying it was full of urine, spittle, and all kinds of other filth. Crazed, she hears voices that order her to do things. She says she heard children singing and that they were locked up in a school. January 20th, 1939. Introverted, dazed, cannot focus on anything. When questioned and stimulated, she starts crying and weeping. At other times, she laughs. June 1st. Apathetic. Eats very little. She refuses to be touched. Does not respond. Spends her time in the grounds. The cooks report that she sits on a bench in front of the kitchens. October 14th. Return of impulsive behavior. This morning she asked for 2 eggs to make zabayoni, but when she got them, she threw them up in the air. Excited, clamorous, slightly confused, takes her clothes off. December 8th. Tied to bed for 15 days. High-spirited, tends to make witty comments and use vulgar words. Laughs hysterically and pleasures herself. The nurses report that about 2 weeks ago she remained in the showers on her own and didn't want to leave. They said that when they took her away, she swore at them and then lashed out and bit them. 2 nurses had to be treated for their injuries. They've kept her tied to the bed since then. Transferred to the slightly agitated ward, from the care of Dr. B to the care of Dr. C. I was with Amara in the showers. My memories are terrifying. They're not real, are they? December 15th. Dr. C. Patient notes. The abnormality of her psychic state has induced her to lead a life which is irregular and tends towards delinquency. Of fickle and flighty character, she regularly discards her household duties and engages in occasional prostitution. Prostitution? No one would have ever believed a lunatic, let alone a lunatic who lives in the worst sort of sin. Could such a person ever have been subject to sexual violence? Certainly not. Her mental deficiency makes her deaf to the reprimands of her family. She has shown suicidal tendencies. She was brought to the ward yesterday, agitated and hysterical. Treated with cardiazol, 2 injections a week for 5 weeks. They were only trying to confuse us with the therapy, and my God, they succeeded. It was as if they wanted to instill the madness into us. June 2nd. After a long period of calm and improvement, the patient is very agitated today and vehemently refuses to submit to a gynecological examination. She swears and curses those helping her, flailing her arms and hitting them. According to reports by Dr. B, the patient has been subjected to periodic checkups since she had a spontaneous abortion about 2 years ago in her 3rd month of pregnancy. Conception occurred after she had sexual intercourse with a stranger who sneaked into the hospital grounds. Details are contained in the charges filed at police headquarters in Volterra, a copy of which is attached to these clinical notes. ES therapy. That's how the reality is concealed. It has all been planned very carefully. June 13th. The nurses report that she descended into a state of great mental confusion after receiving her mother's letter. She threw her soup over another inmate because she was very anxious, and then punched a nurse. Impulsive, flails about her. She rails against the doctor in vulgar terms while he is examining her, lashes out and spits. Block all correspondence to give the patient no further reason to become agitated. August 20th, tied to bed. The nurses report that the patient is extremely agitated after the visit of a relative or family friend. 2 days later, she is still shouting all the time that he commands her, that she must obey and harm herself, and that she is not Charlotte. All visits forbidden, constrained to bed, and intensification of ES therapy until we achieve results. No contact with the outside. That way nobody knew what was happening within these walls. March 3rd. Alert, correct attitude, replies when questioned. The nurses report that the patient is calm. She washes and looks after herself. She affirms the existence of a certain Amara. She says that Amara is a patient who disappeared when she was moved to this ward. No confirmation. Probably a regressive hallucination. Evaluate transfer. Did I imagine Amara? That's not possible. She was there. I know she was there. I feel it. She must have left some traces of her presence. We can look for her things in the storeroom containing the bundles of the patient's belongings on the upper floor.
So now we're looking for Amara stuff. We are on the second floor, just making sure. Yeah. ES room was there. So maybe she was insane. I'm not sure. All we can do is continue on with the story.
These are Amara's things, I'm certain. Amara, there she is. She existed. She really did exist. There she is, my friend.
I'm not sure which one.
March 12th, 1938. The young girl Renée arrived today. Poor thing, she was terrorized. You see, she remembers the first time we met. I talked to her mother, the dear lady, and she expressed her fears to me, and I promised I'd keep an eye on her daughter. The lady told me her daughter's doll had been taken away, and this worried her, because when she becomes depressed, as she is now, Renée barricades herself in her room and can't communicate. The doll becomes her voice, eyes, and ears. Dr. B said I'll soon get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm so sad to leave Renée. I won't be able to protect her anymore. My poor friend. She was hoping to be able to get out of here, but nobody ever leaves this place. That poor girl is really ill. I am the only one she ever speaks to. I told her I was leaving, and she stared at me, saying that I would never leave. It was quite unnerving, and then she started to cry. I felt like crying too. She didn't say anything else. What worries me is that I'm sure that terrible man is watching her. He was the one who brought her here, and of all the good people, why did it have to be him? She knew. I told her everything. She knew about that man. That's why they wanted to make her disappear from my life. But I instructed a nurse friend of mine to keep an eye on her, and I'm sure she will, because she's a good woman. Her friend the nurse. I vaguely remember. She worked on this ward.
Alright, so now we have to go to the nurse's room then, I guess. I don't actually know where the nurse's rooms are, so we're going to come up to here and check. 13. Ah, right. The same way we came. Literally right next door. I didn't expect that, I'll admit. So I'm not sure if there's multiple endings to this, to be honest. There could be. There might not be as well. But we'll find out. We'll find out.
She worked mostly in the Marigliano pavilion. Let's get out of here and find that pavilion. Renée was alone here. Charlotte had abandoned her. And without Charlotte, Renée couldn't communicate with the outside world. Mother knew that.
There's something pavilion. I don't know if it's here on this floor. Or it's not. I have a feeling it might be the bottom floor.
Marigliano was a different pavilion nearby. Let's follow the signs.
Alright. I'm assuming I go this way. I actually have no clue, I'm just sort of aimlessly wandering in order to get there. Alright, I'm assuming I could have come out the back of the hospital instead of going through the front. Alright. I was right. At least. Thank God for that. Up there. So now we're in a completely different psychiatric ward. There's another one back there as well. Is this building here? Or is it not? I do not know. I assume not. All things considering the way that that's closed off. So, but anyway, this is pretty good. I'm enjoying this game thus far. Yeah. It would seem that overall, response has been positive. Oh, here we are. It's right here. What the hell? This is for children. I assume.
She's kind to everyone, even me. I felt a little better when I saw her. The sick children laughed and played with her. Not even they could frighten me. Don't annoy Renée. She's a princess here. Didn't you know? She told stories. She said there was a war out there. But they stared at me and frightened me. They would come to look for me in the evening, and then no one would have protected me. Not even you, Charlotte. Am I right?
But they probably just wanted to play. Her mental illness would have made her think of the most evil things possible. Well, with that episode, well, with that chapter, we're now on chapter 12. I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.